I just got carded buying beer the night before my 43rd birthday. Yes!
Hey there, welcome to my bathroom. It's so glamorous. In fact, you probably can't tell this on camera, but the camera is mounted in my bathtub. So welcome to my bathtub. Glad to have you. We're back here at Make and Believe for the fourth part of our series about fitness, about getting fit in our 40s. I'm in my 40s, and in fact, yesterday was my 43rd birthday, and I've been on a push to get to a certain point, an arbitrary deadline that is a birthday, was kind of a goal for me to get to a certain state in my process here. So I've been pushing a little hard, maybe a little harder than I would have been if I didn't have this landmark occasion to mark the calendar coming up, or actually recently passed. But I did have a birthday yesterday, and so I started in the beginning of October. We are midway through November right now, so this is a month and a half of me following the fitness routine that you've seen in the previous videos, and the meal planning guidelines that I set up in the plan, part 0 of this series. So now we're going to talk about where I'm at, and first of all, let's just talk about feeling. I feel great. I'm really, really pleased that I've been able to commit to something and to follow through on it, and the effects are definitely present for me. I'm gonna show you what I look like, and it may not really be obvious to you on the camera, but for me, I can see difference. I can feel difference. I don't feel as heavy as I was. And again, for me personally, this isn't about losing pounds or losing weight. This is about sculpting my body into something that I'm more proud of, and just generally being fit in my 40s as opposed to being overweight and sluggish and just not feeling really good about myself and my body. The last time I took my shirt off in front of this camera, I'll be honest, I was really embarrassed. This time I'm not like, hey, check me out, but I'm not feeling as embarrassed, so that's good. I got my birthday bag right here that my lovely wife got for me, and she actually this year got me a bunch of different pajamas. I needed pajamas, so we got a few pairs. So I guess I'm gonna take this opportunity to try some on and make sure they fit right, and make sure that I'm fit right. Here we go. Right, so, as you can see, I'm not a bodybuilder. I probably never will be, but I definitely have a lot more definition and tone. These guys are significantly smaller back here, which is a big plus. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with this, and I'm kind of okay with these. The gray ones are pretty nice, super comfortable. Thanks, Tiffany, for the awesome birthday presents. Let's try on a few more. Right, she actually got me 4 pairs. I won't subject you to all 4, but I do like these black ones with the really big bow. I don't know, man, something cool about that. Anyway, they all have pockets too. Pockets in pajamas. Definite plus. I'm always carrying things around on me, even when I'm wearing pajamas. I like these. Oh, again, let me do the thing so that we're really checking in with ourselves. This is normal. This is belly out. This is belly sucked in. And then back to normal. So, this is where we're at, but it's way better than we were before. Feeling good about this, feeling good about these, feeling good about these. Feeling pretty fit in my 40s, and I'm gonna keep my method up. I'm gonna keep strong to the end of the year. I'm gonna keep checking back in on myself, see where I'm at. This methodology is working pretty well for me. Let's go next to the charts, and I'll show you exactly what I've been doing and where I'm at.
Okay, so let's go to the charts here for October and November. As you can see, I have expanded my chart and added some new features. Up here at the top, actually let's start at the end of each month. I'm actually tracking how many days I'm in the positive, or my average daily calorie count is in the positive, and then how many days I'm in the negative. And as you can see for October, I didn't really do that well, or at least I didn't do, days versus days wise well. I had 16 days negative and 15 days positive throughout the entire 31 days in the month. And you know what? In the end, it's not really about day to day. It's about the overall calorie balance. And as you can see, for my month total for October, we'll start there, I was negative overall about 1,243 calories. Obviously, these are estimates. I do the best I can by, let's go back to my calculator briefly here for a minute, by punching in what I eat versus what I burn and doing a quick calculation to get my daily calorie values. So that's the number that you're seeing here, the daily value for calories when we look at this chart here each day of the month. Let's just break it down and see what I did. In week 1, here at the top, I was positive 934 calories. Now, October started on a Friday, so it wasn't exactly fair as far as weeks go. And I do the bulk of my calorie burning, my cardio burn, Monday through Thursday. And then I don't do intensive long bike rides as often on the weekends because I'm working on home projects. Life gets in the way for me. I have a good weekday daily routine of burning calories via cardio. So that's kind of how I do it. So this first week was a little skewed for me. I ended up positive with 934 in the positive camp. Rolling into week 2, as you can see here, I've got 4 negative days right off the bat, followed by a Friday and Saturday that were positive, and then Sunday I got back on the horse and had a negative day, and I must have done some riding that day to balance out what I consumed, and that's awesome. So as the week 2 numbers go, I ended up being negative 1,475. Now this is exciting. When you get to a week like this and you're like, yeah, I freaking rocked it, dude. Look, I was negative by almost 1,500 calories. This is great, I'm on a roll. But as you can see, as the month rolled on, that balanced out to less than what I was at in this single week. For the entire monthly average, I ended up with a negative count of 1,243. Whereas in this week alone, this isolated snapshot week, I was at negative 1,475. So sometimes you're doing awesome. But this is the long game. We're playing this game over time, and it's an average. And throughout these other weeks, I didn't do as hot as I did in week 2. Week 3 wasn't bad. Same thing here. I've got 1, 2, 3 negative days right off the bat, followed by a positive Thursday, a calorie positive Thursday. But then Friday, I went back into the negative again, and then Saturday and Sunday, I was in the positive again. And I ended this week pretty similar to week 2. So this is kind of a strong run for me, a 2-week run here at negative 1,439 calories for week 3. Week 4 was not so hot. I remember this week very clearly. I was really busy and I did not have a chance to do as many bike rides as I wanted and burn as many calories as I wanted. And I ended up working just a ton, sitting at my desk, not doing anything. And it shows. It shows here in the chart. So I started the week, my first 2 days in the positive. And then I had a negative day, positive day, negative day. I was just back and forth on this, followed by a weekend full of eating and not doing a lot of working out. And I ended this week with a positive 1,154 calories. Not awesome. And it totally almost balances out one of the awesome prior weeks that I was having. And if you add that to week 1's positive count, it's like I was almost a nil here. I was almost back to nothing again, back to square one at the end of week 4. So that didn't feel great. And when I was here and I was checking my monthly totals, it didn't look great either. So I knew I had to get back on my game. I did my best at the end of October here to start the week strong with a negative. Tuesday was not the best day. I was in the positive, but just barely in the positive at 45. That's not terrible. And then I had a good negative streak because I knew that the weekend was coming and that the weekend was Halloween here on the 31st, and I knew I was going to put a bunch of calories in. I'm not a candy eater, so it wasn't from candy, but I did eat quite a bit because we had a campfire in our backyard, and I ate some vegan hot dogs, which were delicious, and I don't regret a thing. So that was a holiday. This is what a holiday should look like to me, about 1,200 calories in the plus. At any rate, even despite that holiday, at the end of this week, I ended up at a negative 417 calories, which I think is pretty good for a week with a holiday in it like Halloween. So overall, when I'm averaging these 4-week totals, 5 weeks, I guess, since week 1 was a really short one, for October together, I'm ended up in the negative at 1,243, which is pretty good. But again, if you look at our days, it was 15 positive days, 16 negative days. So that's what I learned from looking back at October, is that in November, I really want to increase my negative count versus my positive count day to day and try to get my streaks going. When I have this 4-day streak in a row, that's where I really do a good job and I end up having a good week. So knowing that, looking at the numbers and being cognizant of what got me this far and what will get me further is what has informed my decision-making process moving forward into the month of November. So let's look at November next and see. We're only halfway through it, but let's see where we're at. Right, so to kick off November, I didn't do amazing, but I didn't do terrible either. Being 9 in the positive, I mean, this is so close to being in the negative that I'm all right with a 9 positive day. That's pretty much net zero to me, which is okay. You're going to have a lot of net zero days, probably, if you're in balance with what you're consuming and what you're burning. You know, the goal here is to get fit and then have all net zero days where you're just not putting on additional weight and you're only putting into your body, you know, what you need to burn. And some days when you go on epic bike rides, you're going to put a lot in your body. Some days when you're not doing much and you're just sitting at your desk, you don't need as much. And to find that balance is my goal. So a 9, I'll take it. Yeah, you know, it's where we're at. Tuesday here, it looks like I ate a little more than I burned. Not a big deal. Wednesday, I started in the negative. I was like, hey, this is a new month. I got to do something here. Thursday, I ate a lot of food. This is a positive day, almost 1,000 calories positive. But then Friday and Saturday, which are not normally big burn days for me, I was like, nope, not going to do this. I'm going to get back in the game, and I had 2 consecutive negative days on what are technically weekend days for me. So that's fine. Sunday, of course, I didn't take a bike ride and was a little bit positive. I ended this first week of November at a negative 71. Not amazing, to be honest, but not terrible either. Not terribly in the positive like some of those weeks we had back in October. So then, I knew my birthday was coming at this point. It was November 8th. I had about a week and a half until we were there, and I started this week strong. I had a 4-day streak of super calorie burn days where I went on epic bike rides. I got up early, and I went long, and I went hard, and it felt great. So I had a negative 963, followed by a negative 664, negative 690, and then again another negative 900 day, and that was awesome. And I'll be honest, it allowed me to be almost 1,000 positive on Friday without batting an eyelash. On this Friday, I was like, you know what? Yep, I'm going to make the choice to eat a bunch of calories. I'm going to be okay with it. I think I might have even taken a bike ride on this day too, but ate this much more, you know what I mean? Because I was hungry and I wanted to reward myself for this amazing streak, this run right here that I think I can duplicate if I get in the swing of it every week, Monday through Thursday, burning strong, so that when I get to the weekend, I can feel good about whatever it is I really want to eat. It's not really intermittent fasting as much as it's intermittent calorie burning, but you know, on both ends of the spectrum, it works. It's worked for me so far. So then I went to the weekend feeling pretty happy. You know, I had a nice, good Friday where I consumed a lot of calories, and Saturday and Sunday I was like, hey, I'm good. I don't need to eat that much, and I can take some light bike rides and work on my house at the same time. I was in good balance with my life here, and I ended this week super strong at a negative 2,484 calories. Week 2 of November rocked for me. I was really feeling good. So here we are right now in week 3 of November, and again, I've got a strong streak going so far. Today is Friday when we're filming this right now, so I won't know these numbers until Saturday when I look back on Friday and do my calculations and all is said and done. But I can tell you about the beginning of the week, and this is a good 4-day streak again. You know, a little light at the beginning, negative 33. Tuesday, negative 274, respectable. Wednesday was my birthday, and I actually took the day off work and just did what I wanted to do, which was ride to the archery range and shoot arrows and ride out to Calabasas. I rode all the way to Calabasas in the afternoon there. just for fun, just to go and do things that I don't normally get to do. We've been pretty locked down for COVID, so even not visiting stores and stuff, just getting out into the world on my bicycle and riding around to places that I haven't been in a very long time felt really good to me. So I ended up Wednesday at almost negative 2,000 calories, and I ate a lot on this day too. I just burned a lot, and it was amazing. It was a great birthday. 43 is really going to be an awesome year for me. I can tell already. And this streak is what I want to replicate. Maybe not with a 2,000 negative day, but this streak of 4 negative days at the top of the week, followed by eating whatever I want on a Friday, and then having, a balanced weekend. That's what I want to try to maintain until I'm at the point where I'm fit and I feel great and I'm just completely done with the burn, losing calories push, and I want to start maintaining and reaching a net zero, which is a goal that is achievable, easily achievable. If you can do the burn, you can do the net zero maintenance, and this chart will help you do either one. So far for the month, and we saw, let's just rewind here, so far in the middle of the month in October, I was doing pretty good. And then I ended the month a little lower than that. So we got a long way of November to go here. We'll see where we're at the end of it. But so far for the month, if you add my 2.5 weekly totals, thus far I'm at negative 5,101 calories. And this is a gradual average burn where I'm not super negative any one day, except this crazy bike ride day. But like all of these other days they're pretty well in balance, where I'm not doing damage to my body by losing too many calories at once. I'm eating healthy, I'm putting nutrients into my body, I'm replenishing what I need, but I'm keeping a gradual negative thrust to my practice. And it's working out pretty well, and that builds up over the month. Even October's negative 1,200, I was happy about that, and I would be happy about that any month as a gradual method to get to net zero. Negative 5,000, that's amazing. I really don't know if I'll be there by the end of November. I think this number might go down between now and then, but I'm gonna try to maintain this streak of the first 4 days of the week, doing a hard negative burn, and then enjoying my weekends and trying to keep them as in balance as possible. So far, for my day count for November, I'm doing great. I've got 13 days in the negative, and I've got 5 days in the positive. And if I can just keep this number minimum and keep this number maximum, even if these numbers aren't huge on either end, that's great. That's gradual reduction to get to my end goals. So I've also, in this calculator, put up an annual day count, which automatically calculates all of these monthly day cycles, and these are just manual. Whenever I go and take a day off, if it's positive or negative, I come here and I just manually update that to 14, or up that to 6, or whatever the next day happens to be. And I'm color coding just so it's easy for me to review it. My negative days in green and my positive days in this red, so I can just see where I'm at visually. And then my yellows are my totals. So I've plugged in at the top here annual days, and it looks like, because I was still pretty balanced in October, and because we've only been doing this, I've only been clocking this for a month and a half, even though November looks great at 5 and 13, I'm only at 20 to 29 on my annual days, and I'm excited to look at this again at the end of December and just see where I'm at for the last, basically Q4 of 2021, and I'm ready to move into 2022. If I've got this in the swing of things, where if I can maintain where I'm at right now, I'm feeling really positive about being fit by the time this year ends and being at my goal of where I want to be with my body, so that I can just start to maintain kind of that net zero balance. Still gonna work out, I'm still gonna eat. I'm just gonna aim for zero starting in 2022 if I can achieve my fitness goals during 2021. So that's really exciting, and if you've made it this far through this video and you're still paying attention, thanks for joining me on this, because it really helps me to be accountable, I guess, to the world for what I'm doing. It gives me motivation during those burns to get the job done. All right, my fellow fitness freaks, it is a fantastic foggy Friday morning, and I'm gonna get out there on my bike and burn some calories, and I will see you in the next one.